Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Unemployed to Legend with Wigan Athletic. My name is Craig, and coming up in today's episode we have the season review and the summer transfer window. So we have just literally come off our successful promotion push for the championship, and we did indeed go up via the playoffs in the end. But I thought just to start this episode it would be nice for us to go through the season review. Now this is actually going to be my first time going through the new season review feature on FM21, and here we go. So, end of the season review 2020-21. It's a nice little look through who our top signings are, who's been our best 11. So firstly, Joel Lynch, Tiedemann Mengi and Naginda were our three best performing players apparently. I kind of have to agree with that. I mean, Naginda did fall off towards the end of the season form wise, but he was instrumental in us getting that push going back in December, just before the January transfer window. Tiedemann Mengi's been an absolute rock at the back. There's no question that without him, to be honest, we probably wouldn't have got promoted. Joel Lynch gave us some good experience at the back, at least until Matty Pearson came in. Darnell Johnson, he's obviously now in permanently after his loan spell, and he'll be someone who's going to be very important for us both at centre back and right back come next season. Balogun, his goals, 21 goals and 3 assists in 37 games. He's only on loan from Arsenal, so he's going to go back at the end of the season. Yes, he missed the playoff final, but his goals were instrumental in us getting to the playoffs in the first place. Jordan Archer, an absolutely underrated signing as a goalkeeper. He made 22 appearances in the end, and he was very, very solid. Particularly in the playoffs, he made some magnificent saves. Matty Palmer, really impressed with him. Certainly he's a League One player. I'm not sure if we'll bring him back on loan. I mean, is he potentially a Championship player? He's a good player for most League One sides. Okay, he has potential to be a decent Championship player in the future. So he's someone we could keep an eye on. Oh, you gotta go back to the beginning. Wonderful. Matty Pearson, he only made 18 appearances. He came in, I believe, at the end of January, but again, just providing some more experience at the back alongside Mengi or Joel Lynch. Extra depth actually at the back more than anything. Reece James, as I mentioned, the board are content with his signing, but I think he's been okay. 3 assists in 19 appearances, and he's only just settling into the club. Not too bad. Emir Hughes, I have to say I'm quite disappointed. 2 goals in 21 appearances, but he's still kind of outshined by Matty Palmer in the centre of midfield. Looking for more from him next season. Viv Solomon Otterbor. Board say that they're delighted to sign him. I think he was here already before I even arrived. 33 appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists. He was just too inconsistent. When he was on form, he was on form, but he's too inconsistent. Patrick Schmidt made the difference, gave us more depth, and certainly he was more influential than Gavin Massey ever was. Josh McEachran gave us more cover, especially when Lee Evans was injured or suspended, and Lee Evans, I believe, will be leaving the club this season, so McEachran is effectively his replacement. As far as the league season goes, we finished 3rd, promoted through the playoffs. Effectively, we were top 2nd going into the final day. Of course, we slipped 3rd, but not too bad. Obviously, the FA Cup, we got knocked out in the first round to Kingsland Town. Whoops! We got knocked out by Everton in the Carabao Cup. That's fine, and no one cares about the pizza trophy anyway. Moments to remember: a 4-0 away win at Wimbledon. Yeah, considering we don't do that well, or rather, I don't do well away from home most of the time. The 2-1 win at home to Peterborough, that game back in October really showed me that this team on its day can beat anyone. That gave me a glimmer of hope, but we went on a poor run after that. And then winning 2-1 at home against Lincoln, when was that? In February? I believe we had to come from behind. Yeah, we had to come from behind in that one. And in fact, that's actually the goal of the season from Emir Hughes. I'm not sure what that goal is exactly. I don't think we can actually see it, which is sad. Finances wise, Lee Evans, top shirt merchandise seller, and then Lynch. Hughes is up there, that's pretty good. Lang, of course, although he spent most of the first half of the season injured. Solomon is quite a surprise. I'd say Lynch and Solomon are quite surprising that they're very, very popular. I thought Johnson or Mengi would be more popular. Hughes has only just joined, and the fact he's one of the most popular is quite good. There's nothing obviously to compare against the previous year as far as revenue goes. Competition prize money, only 10k. Wow. I think had we actually gone on an FA Cup run, it would have been a lot more than that. And matchday revenue and commercial, 805k. Would have thought that would be a bit higher. So this is our first 11 of the season effectively. Archer in goal, yep, agree with that. Pearce, Lynch, Mengi and Johnson as our back four. Yeah, I think Matty Pearson came in too late to really affect that. And Reece James, I'm surprised Reece James is not on here because Pearce didn't really play all that much. McAkron at the base of the midfield, Evans and Palmer, I agree with that. Hughes I don't think was good enough. Otterborn on the left, I would have put in Lang. I think he made more of a difference than Solomon, as much as Solomon did contribute some important goals. Massey was just ineffective. I'm really not impressed with Massey. He's too injury prone as well, so I might try and offload him this summer. And Balogun up front, agree with that. His goals more or less got us into the playoffs, even into the playoff final before he sadly missed it through injury. So Joel Lynch, signing of the season. Really? Oh sorry, he's FAM's player of the season. Okay, fair enough. Young player of the season, Teedon Mengi. Agreed. Signing of the season was Joel Lynch. Okay, that's quite surprising. Goal of the season, Emma Hughes, as we've already seen on the previous screen. Top goal scorer was Balogun with 21 goals. Most assists was Massey. Okay, that kind of puts a spin on things. I wasn't particularly impressed with him. No one else got more assists. Most player of the match awards, Mengi with 5. That makes sense, especially particularly the beginning of the season. And Lynch highest average rating, 7.1. Wow. For someone who's 33 years old. I suppose League One was his level. He might provide some backup in the Championship, but I don't think he's getting into the starting lineup often. Record breakers, most goals by a player in the match. Garner with 2, so no one scored a hat-trick. Wow. Most goals by a player in a league match, Balogun with 2. Most clean sheets by a player in the season, Jamie Jones, and he didn't even play the second half of the season, but he's got 18 clean sheets. That's very impressive. So where did Archer get? Mengi with 6 player of the match awards. It says here, where is it? He got 5 here, but here he's got 6. Or is that all competitions? Worst discipline with Darnell Johnson, 11 yellow cards. Wow. Naughty boys club right there. And the fastest goal was Callum Lang, 2 minutes 7 seconds. I think that was late on in the season because we made a habit of scoring early goals towards the end of the season. Effectively, if it wasn't for that run in the middle of the season, we really would not be anywhere near the playoffs. So overall, we were very, very good defensively throughout the season. I think we conceded the least amount of goals in the league, which is really impressive. And we were aggressive, clinical. Right, so here is the club vision for next season. Play entertaining football. We didn't this season. The board are disappointed. Doesn't really matter for Wigan, I don't think. Sign players under 23, that's fine. Do not sign players over the age of 30. Yeah, that's fine. It's required, but that's fine. Work within wage budget, that's standard. So, sign players to sell for a profit, that ties into under 23s. Minimum 2-year contracts, that's fine. Fight bravely against relegation in the Championship. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking was going to happen. Really and truly, they're basically saying to us, we will probably get relegated, and chances are that could be what happens. Wigan are a team that now bounce between the Championship and League One. This could be a case of that's what happens in Football Manager as well. So the board are going with effectively what happens in real life. So that's fine. We'll fight bravely against relegation. I'm personally going to be aiming for mid-table. So squad dynamics wise, we've got 3 team leaders. Joe Garner, who will probably leave. Jamie Jones, who I hope to offer a contract. Lee Evans will probably leave. So I'm going to be looking at the likes of Solomon Otterborn, Joel Lynch and Johnson to step up. Massey, I think, will hopefully leave this season as well. Right, let's give the players a quick message before they go off. You see, yeah, Joe Garner, he's negative And to be honest with you, yeah, he's gone. I think we're good enough not to be... Nope. Okay. They're satisfied with that. Some new faces, so try and bring some new faces in to help us not get relegated, but basically told the players we will probably still get relegated. No promises now. I thought there would have been more promises made here today. Yeah, Garner, you're not even going to be here probably, so shh. Right, see you all for pre-season. The conversation appeared to have a slightly negative effect on Garner's morale. I wouldn't mind, but his morale isn't getting much lower in the first place, so who cares? I've already checked how much money we got for transfer budget as well. The board gave that to me. £4 million in transfer budget, 119,000 in wage budgets, of which we are currently spending 84,000. That's going down to 78,000. So players will obviously be leaving. That will go down to there. So overall, that gives me about 35 grand at the moment to spend. That's a lot of money for a championship club. What for a championship club? That's bottom half of the table effectively. So I've had a quick look at the team report, and this is exactly what the team report is looking like. At 3-star minimum ability. So just to show, yep, expiring contracts, hide those players whose contracts are expiring, and this is what we're left with. We've got several players on 3 stars or more, but as you can see, Lang covers all 3 positions across the front 3. Obviously he's not going to play all 3, and that only leaves Solomon Otterbor as our other winger. No other strikers. Obviously Garner's contract's expiring. Balogun is going back to Arsenal. Evans is leaving as it stands. Matthew will be leaving as it stands. Jamie Jones, Evans, you get the idea. Quite a few players are leaving into the season. It's going to be up to me now to see who I should offer contracts to, and to strengthen effectively every single area, because really, apart from defensive midfield, we need players, we need depth in each part. In fact, if we go down to 2 stars, oh wow, is there no one else? Well, Matty Pearson, that's it. Oh, Solomon can play up front as a 2-star player. Fantastic. We will be back when the first set of transfers come in, because I've already organised some before the season ended, and I did tease, I believe like an episode or 2 ago, that we do have a striker coming in. I'm not going to show who he is now, I'm going to show him when he actually arrives. Well, we're finally into June, and the transfer window has finally opened, and we can now confirm 8 new signings to Wigan for a total of, well, just over £1 million. Let's go through these. First up is Josh Bowler, 3-star potential player who we bought in for £25,000 from Everton, and he has previous championship experience last season with, no sorry, not last season, the season before with Hull. I believe that's the season they went down, but still the experience will have done him well. He did break through at QPR before going on to Everton for £1.5 million, but never actually played a game for them. 3.5-star potential for a player who apparently, oh no, he's only championship potential player, but that's fine because I don't see Wigan really pushing for the Premier League anytime soon. So if he manages to get to the championship potential, that's absolutely fine, because what we have negotiated in his contract is a minimum fee release of £3.8 million. Not bad considering we've just bought him for 25,000, and even if we got relegated, I'm hoping we don't, but even if we did, he won't leave for less than £2.3 million. That is some good business, and hopefully we can develop him to the point where even if we have to sell him, the club will benefit hugely out of it. Second up is Daniel Oyogoke. I believe we bought him in on a free from Arsenal. Yep, this was one of those transfers, one of the 6 transfers that are made while the season was still going on. He was showing us 5-star, he's now only a 3-star potential. Yeah, these young players, they were showing 5-star, but even if they're 3-4-star potential players, I bought them in for nothing, and to be honest, they're on They're on such stupidly low money, £160 a week. What's the difference? He's currently at Vanarama national level. He's not really. I doubt he's really going to make it into our side, but at the time I didn't know if we were going to stay in League One or go up to the Championship, so it was more of a gamble than anything. Callum Cezay is another one of those youngsters as well. Let's see, 2-star with 3-star potential. Central midfielder. He's not really going to get near the team as well either. In fact, he's behind Oyogoke in terms of ability apparently. Brought him in from Tottenham. Brilliant stuff. Pascal Juan Estrada, 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential, so who knows, he's a potential League One player in the future. So God forbid if we did go down, he could get near the team, maybe. A very speedy player by the looks of things. Well, yeah, 15 pace, 14 agility, physicals are decent, technicals not so much, but again we brought him in on a free, so what can we say. Matthew Craig, same story, brought him in from Tottenham on a free, another 2-star player, 3-star potential. Again, League 2, more than likely be his high ceiling, so he's got some very good physicals. However, his mental attributes are actually quite high already. Fairly determined. Let's keep an eye on Matthew Craig as the season goes on. He might spring a surprise. Eddie Carrington, another one from Tottenham. 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. Again, very good physicals. The acceleration is really damn good. He's a right midfielder, although he can be trained for the wings. Are more than likely to do that. Currently at League 2 levels, so he's not really that much worse. Again, if we did go down, chances are he'll be a player who we could use in League 1. If we stay in the Championship, then it's going to be a little bit of doubt whether he'll even fit into the team, but that's the joy of it, I suppose. That's what Football Manager is. A lot of it is hunches, really, isn't it? A bit like real life. Okay, now we come to one of the main ones. The striker I was talking about that we brought in, Ricky Jade Jones. Easily the best signing of the lot. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, £1 million buy from Peterborough. Last season, he broke into the team actually the season before, but last season was his coming out season. 31 appearances, 14 goals, 2 assists, 5 players of the match. 5 player of the match awards. Players of the match. Absolutely bossed it in League 1. He may be a League 1 level player at the moment. I don't put much stock on this 40 recommendation. He's a potential Premier League player in the future. He's going to be one of our main attackers. He won't be playing with Balogun unless we can get Balogun back. But I personally don't see the point at the moment. Who knows? Our last signing, Romain Mundor. In fact, actually, Ricky J. Jones, just want to show the physicals are disgusting. I mean, look at that. He's driven. His pace, his acceleration, his determination. What is not to like about this man? He has that. His finishing, his composure. And he's only 18. Oh, we've got a good player on our hands. We really, really do. Romain Mundor, another 2-star player, 3-star potential player, I believe, from Tottenham. Yep, we basically just raided Tottenham for their youngsters. Another central midfielder. Chances are he probably won't get near the team. If I wanted him to play box to box, what's he looking like? For an 18-year-old, it's not too bad. Okay, so like I said, it's now in June, and I don't think I'm going to be making any other signings, to be honest with you. In fact, this until July, which is when it's free transfer day. So, what we're going to show, 3-star players, all the future transfers that have come in, they're coming in now, and the expiring contract players have all been taken out, so the likes of Massey, Garner, Evans, they're all going. Mainly because Garner and Evans don't want to sign new contracts, they're both unhappy. So Lang, Jones and Schmidt are the quality players up front. Yep, we've got Patrick Schmidt back on loan for another season, which is excellent news. He did us a favour last season. He was actually quite solid, so I'm willing to give him another season. He is a potential good Sky Bet Championship player in the future, and he's only 22? Yeah, he's 22. He'll be 23 by the time the season starts, but that's fine. Yeah, he can play on the wings as well, so he can cover anywhere across the front three, so I'm pretty happy with that. As it is, we need team leaders anyway, and Schmidt could become one of those players. Of course, Lang, Solomon Otterball, who will stay around for this season, Schmidt, Josh Bowler and Ricky J. Jones. All 5 of those players actually can play anywhere across the front three, so we've got some good depth there. The central midfield I'm absolutely horrified by, because at the moment only Hughes and McEachran will be in. There are a couple of central midfielders I am looking at. I will hopefully be able to confirm them. Once I do, then I'll let you know. Defence wise, it's mostly the same as last season. I am looking for some players to really boost that quality. In fact, and Jordan Archer, of course, as our sole 3.5 star goalkeeper. If I lower it to 2 stars, then we'll start to see a bit more depth. Joe Pigott. In fact, Joe Pigott, he's been on loan last season at York, scored 10 goals in 44 appearances up front. He's now got the potential to be a Sky Bet League 1 player. It was originally League 2, something like that. Now League 1. So he's going to stick around. So he's got a new contract. So we'll see how he does this season. If anything, he'll probably go out on loan again anyway. So we'll see how it goes. Defence, Emeka Obi now has League 1 potential as well. His potential has gone up, so he's stuck around for another season. He's currently been on loan, I believe, in the Championship. In fact, who was he on loan with? I know he's on loan at York as well, so both of them were together, Pigott and Obi. Magnificent stuff. Joel Lynch got a new contract as well for a year, just to flesh out our defence. Jamie Jones has got a new contract as well, 2.5 stars. He's 32 years old. I've lowered him to a cup goalkeeper, and he seems to be happy with that. He's a team leader. He's the only team leader now after who is it? Garner and Evans leaves. So he's not really. He's also got championship experience in the past with Wigan twice, so it's not as if we've got a player who's completely useless at this level. Overall, very, very happy with that. Hang on, did I just see Jamie Jones was at Everton? Oh, he came through Everton's system. That's fine. Okay, unless anything else happens transfer-wise, we will be back in July when it's free transfer season. It is now the 1st of July, which means free transfer day. A lot of players have been offered trials, and as you can see, quite a few have accepted or rejected. We'll go through those and just see who's good enough to be offered a contract and who's not good enough and will be dropped. Other than that, I am now working with a £38,000 wage budget, or spare, after a lot of players have now been released, including Gavin Massey, who was on £8,000 a week, and unfortunately Lee Evans. I did have a chance to renew his contract. He was eventually happy enough, but we couldn't agree a fee. I mean, he wanted £11,000. That's a lot of money. But I've offered him a trial, so we'll see if he accepts it and hopefully just comes back to us. Hopefully he'll come home. As far as other transfers go, quickly go through a few more who have been confirmed since the 9th of June. So I believe Eddie Carrington was the last one that we looked at. So Kanya Leshabala, who is on loan from Leicester City. He is plays anywhere in midfield except defensive midfielder type of player. Apparently he continually wants to play on the wings. He's natural on the right, but he can also play as attacking midfield in case we go back to that. Who knows? And of course he can play in central midfield, which is good because we are light on bodies there at the moment. He hasn't actually played any games for Leicester. He did play in the Scottish Premiership last season. Didn't exactly tear it up. 6.74 average rating. But he gives us an option in central midfield. He would come in fact, he would come in as our second best attacking winger. Yeah, attacking winger, it seems. What about midfield? He comes in behind Hughes and McEachran. Not too bad. I mean, he has 4.5 star potential, but he's on loan, so doubt he'll achieve that here. Oops, went to the wrong button. Another player we did bring in, and this one is more of a hunch. Leighton Clarkson, on loan from Liverpool, 2.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential. He is on loan at the moment. He's currently operating... Oh, that's changed. It was saying he was currently at League 2 level. He's now League 1 level. Potential to be a Championship player in the future. It was saying Premier League. But if he could become a Championship player, I mean, he has the attributes for it. Just look at them. Look at the first touch. Look at the tackling. Because most likely he's going to be playing in that defensive midfield position as a deep line playmaker. He's got the physical attributes to go with it as well. He hasn't played any professional games. He's literally just been in Liverpool's youth squad, so I'm assuming. So this will be his first taste of the relative big time, if you will. But 2.5 star potential. He'll be okay, I think. He comes in, he's actually supposedly worse than Matty Pearson, which is a bit of a concern, but hopefully he'll be able to slot in nicely with McEachran and Hughes and Lashabala, to be honest as well. Kyle McLachlan, just an under-23s player who was brought in by my director of football. This completely went over my head. I didn't even know this was happening. Whatever. If he stays in the under-23s, I don't really care. Just don't eat up the wage budget. The same for Alfie Stanley, another director of football signing. Don't know why he's bringing them in. Reece Williams, though, is one of mine. Also from Liverpool on loan. Centre back at 3 star current ability, 5 star potential. He slots in. I would say behind Darnell Johnson, but he's most likely going to be a right back this season. He'll slot in nicely behind Mengi and Pearson. Williams coming in did upset Joe Lynch, but I just said to Lynch, listen, you will get your chances. You had a good season for us last season. You'll more than likely have a chance to show that again this season. The man's 32 years old. I don't know if he's going to compete at this level. But regardless, if Lynch doesn't, then Williams will step in anyway. And certainly he has the potential to be a Championship player in the future. You can kind of see the theme of what we're going with here. He has played some games. He has only played in the Vanarama North with Kidderminster. That was back in 2019-20 season. So this would be his first time at this sort of level. Be interesting to see how he does. Another player who is signed, more of a for the future, Andre Masny, a Czech Republican goalkeeper, 19 years old, 2 star current potential, 4.5 star potential ability. Sorry, it's 2 star current ability, not current potential. He's 4.5 star potential. He's literally just been coming through the ranks at Man United, although he started with Jilava in the Czech Republic. Hasn't played a game. He's more likely going to be my number 3 goalkeeper this season behind Jamie Jones. And when Jamie Jones leaves, because he has been offered a new contract, he will slot in hopefully as that number 2 behind Jordan Archer. So that has been the transfer activity so far this season. Apart from some loans and freebies, Charlie Jolly has gone to Coventry on a free. Asgard's gone on loan to Fylde. If there's any more signings, we'll be back maybe 2-3 in-game weeks down the road. Give me enough time to get these trials in, see who's good enough to be signed. I mean, I've got £38,000 to spare, and actually wage budget £3.5 million, so we can afford to bring people in as well. This could be a very busy month. I completely forgot to show the squad's depth charts, didn't I? So after all those signings have gone in and a lot of players have left, this is what we're looking at the moment. The complete front 3. To be honest with you, they're all, I would say, interchangeable. I don't really want to use that word, but they can all play effectively across that front 3. The likes of Balogun, who is, he has been extended to be on loan with us for the next season. I forgot to mention that, as has Schmidt, so I think I mentioned that before. So Balogun, Lang, Jones, Schmidt, Solomon Otterbohr, who else? Bowler. Pigott is back from loan, but I doubt he'll actually get much game time, certainly not up front anyway. Central midfield and defensive midfield is what I'm a little bit worried about, because there's not really much depth there, so that's the area I am looking to target the most. That needs the most urgent work, to be honest with you. Chris Merry we have offered out, because I doubt he's going to get into this squad regardless. He's only 2 star in any of those 3 positions. Left back, If we can find someone else, fantastic. If not, Pearson James will be fine to start the season. Centre back and right back have been, well, they've been upgraded significantly, to be honest, even though a lot of them are the same players, although with the addition of Reece Williams. And of course, Jordan Archer, Jamie Jones as our main goalkeepers. I've got it on 2-star filter. If we put it down to 1 star, never mind, I've just realised Masney is in the under 23s, so we'll keep it on 2-star. Although if I go to 3-star, that is effectively our depth. Again, central midfield. No. That will need some urgent work. To the free transfers list. So we've done the pre-season, we're now on the day of the first game, and that means effectively I've got my squad as far as I'm concerned for the season. Obviously minor improvements, hopefully will only be minor improvements that will be needed over the season. But before I finish up this episode, let's go through the last few transfers that we got in. Behind my head obviously you can't see everyone who's actually gone out, but quite a few loan players have gone. A lot of the players that we actually brought in, so all the youngsters such as Andre Masney, Matthew Craig, etc. have all gone back out on loan, just to give them some of that precious game time that they clearly need. They're like 18, 19 years old, so they benefit from that compared to just sitting on the bench or even just sitting in my reserves, which is what my director of football has been doing. Seriously, I need to keep on top of what he's actually doing. I mean, he's just bringing in random players. I mean, this guy, Alan, how do you even pronounce that name? Alan Chaptet. Alan Chaptet. I'm just going to set a nickname. Did it not set it? Oh, right. Yeah, he's just going to be called Alan. I know there's already an Alan at Everton, but it's just easier. So he's gone on loan to Sutton? Yeah, Sutton. But he was just a player, random player, brought in by my director of football. Regardless, we did manage to sell 2 players properly. Adam Long and Chris Merry have both gone to Notts County and Plymouth respectively. Adam Long, £10,500. Chris Merry, £22,500. Bit of business there. Why not? They're not going to get into my squads, not with the players we bought in anyway. First player that we bought in after, well, how far did we get? I think we got down to Alan. So, Josh Scowen, free transfer, 3.5-star current ability, and he's not really going to improve anyway. He's 28 years old, but he comes in as our best central midfielder. He's had that championship experience with QPR. He played at Sunderland for the past couple of seasons, but that championship experience with Barnsley and QPR is going to be quite priceless. Also, he's a decent player. Oh right, he's been upgraded. Decent player for most championship sides. Fine, at least for the moment. We're trying to build this Wigan side up to championship standards. I've realised in the past 12 months in game, I've had to take them from being effectively a League 2 squad into League 1. We got promoted, now I'm having to take them into being a championship squad. It's very, very quick, the turnaround that we've had to do on them. Declan John, another left back, so he can compete with Tom Pearce and Reece James. But how old is he? He's 26 years old. I've just realised he's capped for Wales. That's absolutely brilliant stuff. 26-year-old, 3-star potential player, I believe, 3.5-star potential, sorry, current ability player. He has championship experience as well, with the likes of Swansea and Cardiff. Played for Rochdale in League 1 and Swansea over the past couple of seasons, but you know what, he's a solid player. Yes, he's good for most League 1 sides. I think he will do a decent job for us at left back, but it also kind of makes me worry about Tom Pearce and Reece James just a little bit, because they're League 1 standard as well. Nevertheless, he gives us another option at left back. Alex Lopez, another central midfielder from Leeds. On loan from Leeds, 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, although again only on loan, so he's probably not going to hit that. He's played his whole career in Spain. He's only just literally signed for Leeds, but they've loaned him out. There's quite a few clubs who actually wanted him, all Championship or League 1 sides as well. So I think we got ourselves a good little player. In fact, he actually comes in as our best central midfielder, which is no mean feat actually. Gives Hughes and McEachran and Clarkson and Le Chabala some competition. Also allows them to just have a bit of a break when needed, to be honest with you. And Matt Richardson is another director of football transfer. In fact, how much potential has he got? 3.5 stars as centre back. Regardless, that is our summer transfer window. So we got the first 2 games of the season coming up, as you saw on that screen. Oxford is the next game, or rather the first game of the season, and then we have Middlesbrough at home. So that will be the next episode, and we will finally be able to see, are these signings any good for the Championship? Some of them I think will be, others there's going to be major question marks over. In fact, before we go, team report will show that we're in a lot better position compared to just a month ago in game. Again, the front 3 I'm very happy with. Central midfield I'm a lot happier with compared to the beginning of July. I was a bit nervous at that point because that was our weakest area. We had hardly anybody. We only had Hughes and McEachran. Now we've got choice, and that's the best part. And in defence, I believe we've strengthened. Mengi's come back. Johnson, he is now our captain, actually, is Darnell Johnson. Matty Pearson can also play at right back, which is good because Naginda and Scowen, not too sure. Naginda might be able to do a bit of a job. Obviously Scowen, I don't believe he'll be playing right back anyway. Goalkeeper, Archer and Jamie Jones will be our 2 goalkeepers for the season. We'll see if we can replace Jamie Jones at some point. He's not the captain anymore. He is still a team leader, I believe. Oh my gosh, no he isn't. We have no team leaders. Yikes. Okay, I'm looking for the likes of Johnson, Lynch and James to step up now. Ooh, that's not particularly great. Right. We'll have to see how that goes. First 2 games, Oxford away, Middlesbrough home, the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed that, hit the like button down below and click subscribe for more Football Manager content. Here's hoping that we can survive in the Championship this season. That is the overall aim. Remember that. Anything above that is a bonus. But I hope you can join me for the next episode. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.